Hey, what's up? John Sonmez from simpleprogrammer.com. So I got a blogging question for you. For those of you that are interested in blogging, creating your own blog, you can always check out my free course on how to create a blog to boost your career. Go ahead and click there and you can get access to that. It's totally free, delivered by email. A lot of good information there. But I often get questions related from that course. I'm going to read you one of those today, which is about the best way to get your blog out there. So this is from Ted, and Ted says, I'm having problems advertising my blog. I'm usually only getting 1 to 2 clicks on my blog when I create a new post. I created a Twitter account and I advertise my posts on there. I comment on other blogs once a week. I'd like to do more, but I'm having trouble finding posts to comment on. I'm trying to find more Android developer blogs. Well, you're going to find some now. Leave a comment below if you've got an Android developer blog. Are there other ways to advertise my blog or communicate with Android developer bloggers? Well, I just gave you one. You send me an email, and I'm going to put you in contact with a bunch that are going to leave comments below with links to their Android developer blog. Also, would it be acceptable to put my blog on a resume or talk about it in an interview? So let's start with the obvious question. Yes, of course. Definitely put it on your resume and talk about it during an interview. In fact, if you do it right, that should be the main thing you talk about in the interview, because that's going to be interesting. Your blog is essentially your resume. I'll tell you what, if you apply for a job, the very first thing that the company's going to do, or the person that's going to interview you is going to do, is they're going to Google your name. And if your blog comes up and it's a Android development blog and you're applying for an Android developer position, guess what they're going to do? They're going to click that link and they're going to read your blog. And they might spend hours reading your blog if it's got good information on it. And when you show up for the interview, they may have already decided to hire you just based on that. And some of you think I'm kidding about this, but I've gotten jobs that way. I have literally talked to hundreds of Simple Programmer community members that have gotten jobs that way. It works. That's why, again, I'll put the link one more time. You need to sign up for this course and create a blog if you haven't already. Really, really critical. Now let's talk about how to advertise the blog and the fact that you're only getting 1 or 2 clicks per day on your blog. So I've talked about this a lot of times. I definitely talk about it in that blogging course, but this is something that you have to do for the long haul, and it takes a long, long time to build up an audience and to build traction. There's a really good book on this, actually called The Compound Effect by, I want to say, Darren Hardy. He's the editor of Success magazine, right? It's called The Compound Effect. Go check that out. I actually did a book review on it as well, which you want to check out my book review playlist, you can check that out. But it basically, right, he talks about this idea, and I think this is an important concept, is that you've got this long slog, right? I always talk about the grind, right? Because there's a long period before you're not really seeing any traction, right? And if you think about this, he used an example in the book, which I'm sure you've heard of, of if you had a penny and every day it doubled, right? In the first day you have 1 penny, the second day you got 2, then 4, then 8, right? Then 16, 32, 64, 128, 256, 512, 1048, right? So how many days is that, right? That's like, 8 days in and you don't have much, right? But, like 30 days in, it was like, what is it, like $10 million or something like that? I can't remember exactly the exact number. But you see what I'm saying is that's the compound effect. That's this idea. So you're writing a blog post, right? And you do a blog post and you get 1 to 2 clicks and you comment on a few blogs and you're doing this for months at a time, right? And then a year passes by and you're like, gosh, a year? I've been writing this blog. I've been trying to promote it. Nothing's happening. 2 years pass by. You're starting to see a little bit of an improvement, but you're like, this is still not traction. Bam, on the 3rd year, all of a sudden you get traction, right? You look at this YouTube channel, right? Look how long I've been doing videos on here, right? And my pace has increased, right? But I've been doing it, for like 3 or 4 years at the time that I'm recording this video. And you look at my if you look historically, if you use like Social Blade, right? Go check out Social Blade and look at my site, and you can see historically that it took me a long time to get to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, and then it took me a long time to get to 2,000 subscribers. And once I hit about 2,000 or 3,000 subscribers, the inflection point started to go like this. All of a sudden I had traction and bam, 10,000, 20, 40,000. Right now we're at like 42,000 subscribers, right? And that just went up. In the last 6 months, I've had more growth than I have had over the last few years. And that's how things work. Most people don't stick it out long enough, right? So your number one problem is sticking it out. You just need time. You have to keep on producing, keep on grinding, keep on putting out stuff. It doesn't mean that you don't have to like change your tactics and try to figure out what works, but you just got to realize that time is the biggest equation, right? It's the multiplier. It's just like compounding money, you know, compounding things in that momentum effect is going to have the biggest impact overall. But now let's talk about a few tactics. So Twitter, Facebook, social media, that's not going to promote your blog. I'm sorry, unless you got like hundreds of thousands of followers. I've got maybe 40-something thousand followers on Twitter. I sent out a blog post and like 5 people click on it. So it's just not effective. There's too much noise in those channels. You might be able to find other channels that don't have as much noise. Again, come up with a list of Android developer blogs. Really search for this. Go into Fiverr, right? And hire someone to come up with a list of Android developer blogs for $5. Let them do the work for you. Farm out some of the stuff that you can do real easily, and then have a systematic way that you're going to comment on so many blogs per day. Put a system in place. Putting systems in place is really critical. I'll give you a really good book about putting systems in place, which is Scott Adams' book. I did a review on this one as well on, what is it called? It's called How to Fail at Almost Anything and Still Win Big. I think that's the title of the book. It's a really good book, but he talks about the value of using systems. I use systems all the time. So develop some systems, see what's working for those, and that's really, you know, that's the thing. You got to write good content. You can look at SEO and things like that, and that may help you, but overall, time is the biggest factor. And constantly research, constantly, you know, figure out some kind of system that's going to work for you. But there's just no magic formula for getting people to come to your blog. Now, some people have success. Some people start writing a blog, and then 3 months later, you know, they get a post that goes viral, and all of a sudden, they're like Mark Manson, and they're getting just like millions of page views per month. But that doesn't happen for most people. That might happen for you, but don't count on that. Count on being in it for the long haul and consistently producing. And if you're producing quality and you're getting better at it and you're persistent and you make it through that curve, eventually that inflection point. And I know this is true because this has happened to me in multiple areas, right? From blogging to podcasts to YouTube. I've watched these inflection points as I've taken on new projects, and then all of a sudden, bam, it started to hit traction. And you know, there's a significant risk involved. I won't lie to you. Some people, I know one YouTuber who unfortunately has produced I think something like 2,000 videos, and he doesn't have a lot of subscribers, right? And I know some people that have created blogs, so there is a small risk that nothing happens, but that's part of being an entrepreneur, baby. Is you're never going to avoid. It's never going to be 100% certain, but I can give you the 90% path that you can follow. I mean, you can definitely waste 5 years of your life. It won't be a waste if you write a blog post. Trust me, it won't be a waste. But you may never get the traction and get the audience. It's a possibility, but chances are, if you're persistent and you're adapting and you're working hard towards it and you don't give up, that you eventually will. You know, success, it's really hard to not find success, I would imagine, in blogging. If you do it for 5 years and you write a blog post at least once a week for 5 years, you're going to build an audience. You're going to have, at that time, most likely at least 10,000 page views a month. I can't imagine how, unless circumstances just conspire against you, you're just writing about topics that no one cares about, that's not going to happen. So anyway, keep going. I appreciate your question. If you want to get more videos like this, if you like this video, if you're interested in learning more about blogging, boosting your career, personal development, fitness, all that kind of stuff I talk about here on this channel, click that subscribe button and you'll get some of the new videos that I do. I do like 2 to 3 new videos a day. That's right, a day. And yeah, so anyway, I hope you like this video, and I'll talk to you next time. Take care.